What is good, Joe? What is good, Real Talk Squad? It is Miles, and you are listening to Real Talk Miles Johnson, where we always keep it real. Now, I was thinking, man, I'm in my crib. I just got done being on my man Trent show, and I was like, bruh, let me go ahead and get on this, John. I want to go ahead and hear from the Real Talk supporters. Now, all of y'all on Instagram, I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. In like 10 minutes, we're going to be on YouTube and Twitch exclusively. Really just YouTube. Come on in. Come on in. Come on in. It feels amazing. It feels amazing that less than 2 weeks, the Philadelphia Eagles will be in the Super Bowl. Now, this was a spontaneous episode, spontaneous live episode that I wanted to go ahead and pull over right now. And a lot of stuff has been happening. A lot of stuff has been happening. And I see a lot of y'all right now in the media fall for the trap. It's pretty funny to me. It really is funny to me. Now, you'll see the freaking title of this episode right here. Jalen Hurts Straitjacket comments. Let's hear what Jalen Hurts had to say about the passing game, about the haters. Let's see what bro had to say.
He's done a great job.
This John is way too low.
He's done a great job. He's done a great job. Yes, he let me on my straight jacket a little bit today.
All right. It was a little bit low, but what Jalen Hurts said is, I guess they let me out my straight jacket today. A lot of the people in the media flat out, let me go on my full screen right now. Let me go on my full screen right now. Because I'm about to pop it right now. I'm about to pop it. I'm about to pop it. And y'all know all season, all year long, I've been one of the main guys that whether it was against the Buccaneers, whether it was against the Browns, against the Panthers, whoever it was, I was having Hurts back. And so I'm going to light a fire into this right now. Again, like, comment, subscribe, do all that jazz. I cannot believe y'all actually believe Jalen Hurts was taking a shot at Nick Sirianni and Kellen Moore. Now, I've been a critic of Kellen Moore. I feel like with the offensive talent at his disposal, at times this season, he has underperformed for sure. But I will give credit where credit is due. In the biggest game up to this point in the season, Kellen Moore had a masterclass, had a flat out all them RPOs. You saw Dallas Goedert getting involved, Devontae Smith, all them drag RP. It was different. It was different. It was different. Now, part of me is thinking to myself, are they holding back the playbook for the NFC Championship and the Super Bowl? That's what part of me is thinking. Now, part of that might be delusion because I think against the Rams, you should have used more of that. Now, granted, it was the snow and we had some drops to A.J. Brown and that, John, and obviously he made up for that performance. But it got me thinking maybe Kellen Moore and these guys are flat out just holding out for the biggest games of this season. Now, going back to Jalen Hurts' comments, it's clearly a shot at the media. It's clearly a shot at y'all that said he couldn't do this. He couldn't stand in the pocket and throw dimes. Throw dimes. He's been doing this. And what I don't understand, what I don't get, if somebody tells you who they are, why are you then thinking there's somebody else? Jalen Hurts in the Super Bowl showed you who the hell he is. I'll say it again. Jalen Hurts in the Super Bowl showed you who the hell he is. 300 passing yards, 70 rushing yards, and dropped 35 points. And statistically outplayed the greatest quarterback of this generation and quite possibly the greatest quarterback of all time. So I knew that. And what people don't understand, which I've been saying since day one, and Real Talk supporters been hearing me say this week in, week out, what have I been saying? Against the bum teams, against the bum quarterbacks, Jalen Hurts does not play his A-plus game. You can call it selfish, whatever you want. What I say it, what I call it is that he knows he doesn't need to have his A-plus performance. Now, if you're bothered by that, if you feel like, well, everybody else is giving their A-plus effort or everybody else is giving their A-plus performance, why don't you? I appreciate your perspective, but I say, look, just because he's not doing it doesn't mean he's not giving his A-plus performance. See what I'm saying, bro? Against the Panthers, bro did have 2 touchdowns, no picks, and 110 passer rating. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. It wasn't his best game ever. Obviously, it was miles worse than this NFC championship performance. But we have stayed consistent. I want to ask y'all this question. Would you rather have a quarterback that in the regular season they peak, in the regular season against bum teams, against bum franchises, against bum quarterbacks, they show out, but then in the playoffs, they turn into a pumpkin? I don't want that. Personally, for me, I would rather have a quarterback that, you know, against the bum quarterbacks, against the bum teams, against the bum franchises, what does he do? He does enough to win the game. But then against the elite teams, against the elite quarterbacks, he plays above the level that he's always played in the regular season. I like players that in the postseason, they up their game versus players in the postseason like Jared Goff, Sam Darnold, Justin Herbert, Jordan Love. They play significantly lower to what the level was in the regular season. That's all it is. So when I look at Jalen Hurts' comments, and he said, quote unquote, he did a great job. I guess he let me out my straitjacket a little bit today. That was clearly sarcasm and a shot at the media. Now, I've been in journalism my whole entire life. Damn near, bruh. I mean, since I was like 14, 15, I was like, I want to be the next Stephen A. Smith. That's what I thought to myself. And so I know what some of these media pundits are trying to do. They want to crap on Jalen Hurts because they know it will get engagement and they know it will get views. But what I say is that's very, very lazy. That's very lazy because there's a whole lot of quarterbacks that you can talk about that have lost, that haven't got it done, but you choose to talk about the guy that keeps on winning for clicks, for engagement, because you're lazy, because you don't want to do the dirty work and actually come up with topics that are unique, that are original, and that are different from what the trend is going by. We saw Twitter, we saw the memes on this guy, and it was crazy. Now I spent 40, I said 40, I spent 10 minutes talking about this guy Hurts. And we're going to keep talking about him throughout this week and next week. And I know some of y'all might be tired about this. My thing is, bruh, we have to be the one platform that actually says the real stuff. It's real talk and defends this man. Because it's not a lot of guys that have a platform that actually defend the guy that keeps on winning. So unfortunately, with the more haters that come, the more I have to spend my time defending this man. And every single time, whatever I said, he always proves me right. He always proves me right. Eagles, Chiefs. Eagles, freaking Chiefs. Oh, I love this. Let's break this down. The Eagles have the more talented roster. I will concede. Coaching, the Chiefs have that. Quarterback, the Chiefs have that. I'm a Jalen Hurts supporter, but I'm not going to lie to y'all. And I mean, any reasonable fan of the Eagles or Jalen Hurts, you know, Patrick Mahomes is that guy. We know that. We know that Patrick Mahomes is that guy. So yes, he's over Jalen Hurts. The thing is, bro, I'm going to bring this back. We had folks saying that Jalen Hurts wasn't on the B plus A minus tier. The Jared Goff, the CJ Stroud, the Justin Herbert, the Jordan Love. At one point, the Dak Prescott. Unless you're blind, he proved that he's the upper echelon on that level. Like he's the cream of the crop on that level. Now you can argue whether he's on the Burrow, Allen, Lamar, Mahomes level. I will say this. Jalen Hurts is a B plus, A minus quarterback. But in the biggest moments, in the biggest games, he can match Allen, Mahomes, Burrow, Lamar. I can bet my bottom dollar on that. I seen that. I seen that in the Super Bowl. I've seen that. I've seen a guy in the NFC Championship this year have his best game of the year. When all the talk was he couldn't pass the ball in the pocket. Oh, he's injured. You have that dumbass in John Witt Jr. saying, well, if Jalen Hurts runs out the pocket, we're going to hit him like a running back. Hey, dumbass. 3 touchdowns on your head. 3 touchdowns on your head. Stop playing. All right. I had to pop it real quick. All that to say, Hurts, at the very least, is a B plus, A minus quarterback that can have an A plus performance and match elite cream of the crop quarterbacks. And really, the cream of the crop is Patrick Mahomes and nobody else. Josh Allen loses. Lamar Jackson loses. Joe Burrow loses. So I can only compare Hurts to the cream of the crop. So we got that out the way. Let's look at the rosters. Running back, Saquon Barkley blows Pacheco and Kareem Hunt by a mile. They are not in his stratosphere. Offensive line. We know the Chiefs' offensive tackles have been the weak link this season. On the Eagles' offensive line, their tackles have been potentially the biggest strength of this offense the whole entire year. I mean, Jordan Mailata, Lane Johnson, what's a better duo than that? What is a better duo than that? And I didn't even mention Cam Jurgens, Landon Dickerson, Mekhi Becton, and or Tyler Steen. Shout out Jeff Stoutland. And we all know Cam Jurgens is going to play in the Super Bowl. Landon Dickerson is going to play in the Super Bowl. Shout out Alabama. And I believe Cam Jurgens came from Nebraska. And shout out Jason Kelsey, who picked out his replacement in Cam Jurgens. So I can confidently say the Eagles' offensive line is better than the Chiefs' offensive line. Wide receivers, it's not a debate. When A.J. Brown is on his game, when Devontae Smith is on his game, and when Dallas Goedert is on his game, that group itself clears. It clears the Chiefs. It does. It does. So offensively, outside of quarterback, the Eagles have the advantage. And I will say it again, any given game, Jalen Hurts can match Patrick Mahomes. Let's go to the defense. Steve Spagnuolo is different. He is one of a kind, one of the best, if not the best, defensive coordinator of all time. Excuse me. But Vic Fangio is not too far from that tree. It's 1A, 1B. They're right there. They're right there. What Vic Fangio has done with this defense is amazing. You're telling me that he has transformed this defense from being 31st in pass defense, a bottom 5 or 6 defense in the league, to being number 1 in total yards, number 1 in pass defense, and having 10 takeaways in the playoffs, with the offense having 0 takeaways. First time in NFL history. First time in NFL history. Vic Fangio, Christian Parker, my boy Clint, the guy that was going at Nick Sirianni, all these guys have done a phenomenal job. Phenomenal job. And I look at a guy in Oren Burks that he was on the bench for the Kobe Dean, and the Kobe Dean is a hell of a player, and he went out like a champion, like he is. We'll talk about them Georgia Bulldogs later. But Oren Burks stepped in, and against the Rams, against the Commanders, he flat out showed up. That is a credit to not only Oren Burks, but that is credit to Vic Fangio, because he got this guy ready to play. Zach Barnes, amazing. So again, in comparison to the Chiefs, the defensive line, I'm giving the edge to the Eagles. Jalen Carter, Milton Williams, Nolan Smith, Josh Sweat. I know Chris Jones is Hall of Fame, All-Pro, unworldly. He is amazing. But I'm taking the Eagles' defensive line in totality over the Chiefs' defensive line. Linebackers, the Chiefs got Karlaftis. I respect him. I think he's a phenomenal player. But Zach Barnes has been the best defensive player this year from start to finish. He has. And if Zach Barnes' name was literally Fred Warner, he would be the defensive player of the year. And we already know that Oren Burks has done a phenomenal job in the absence of Nakobe Dean. So if you want to say that like the Chiefs linebackers, that they're over the Eagles, I disagree, but it's pretty much the same. I would still give the Eagles linebackers the edge because of Zach Barnes' brilliance. But you head into the secondary. Guess who the Eagles got? The Eagles got Quinyon Mitchell, Cooper DeJean, and Darius Slay. I didn't even mention C.J. Gardner-Johnson. He got that Mamba mentality, and Reed Blankenship. I didn't even mention any of those guys yet. Oh, talking about the safeties. Yes, the Chiefs have Trent McDuffie. Outside of bro, who they got? Who they got? And I'm sorry, I like AJ Brown over Trent McDuffie. I'm sorry, I do. I flat out do. It's where it is. It is a offensive league. It's a offensive league. And what I see is, yes, Trent McDuffie is the truth. He is very, very nice. 24 years old from Washington, all that stuff. First round pick. But hey, I like AJ Brown off 2 weeks of rest, who has been here before to have a masterclass. And you're talking about Devontae Smith is on their cornerback too? Ooh. Ooh. Just saying, bruh. Just saying. I'm looking at the Chiefs depth chart, and I'm gonna go ahead and just share my screen real quick on that. Uh wrong John real quick. Wrong John real quick. Now I gotta hold up. Now I gotta go ahead and share this John in a little bit different way. All right, boom. Y'all can go ahead and see this real quick. I mean, look. Um Tranquil is nice. McDuffie. Talking about Jalen Watson over Devontae Smith. Is that what we talking about? Come on. Come on. What are we talking about? What are we talking about? I look at it like this, y'all. I look at it like this. And y'all on Instagram, I'm about to be on YouTube exclusively. So all 40 of y'all on Instagram, get to YouTube. Link is in the bio to the YouTube channel. Show love. I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. It's Bird Gang. Amen. 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 All y'all on YouTube right now, like, comment, subscribe, do all that jazz. Do all that jazz. Do all that jazz. All right. Offensively, the Eagles will have their way. They will have their way. Outside of quarterback, every position, they will flat out have the edge. And I believe at quarterback, Jalen Hurts can play up to the level of Patrick Mahomes in one game. Defensively is where it gets tricky. Now, obviously, the goal is to stop Travis Kelce. Yes, Kelce is old, but we still got to respect him. And we're going to talk about this matchup a whole lot in these next 2 weeks. But it's like, hey, that's somebody that Andy Reid, off a bye, is going to get Travis Kelce open. And what is he going to do? Andy Reid is going to have plays to target Oren Burks. That's what it's going to be. Now, if this defense can do two things, if this defense can force turnovers and or stop Mahomes from scoring touchdowns, the Eagles win. The Eagles win. That is what it is. That's simply what it is. So I see this. It's not going to be on Jalen Hurts. I know that's the most popular thing to say. It's not going to be on Jalen Hurts and this offense. I believe that they will show up. They will put up points. That's not a question. Ultimately, it is if this Eagles defense, which is number one in the league and has been elite in creating turnovers since December. I mean, the amount of turnovers they created, since that, whether it was the Cowboys game, the Commanders game, whatever it is, they've been showing up since December. So that's not even a question, but they got to continue to prove that on the biggest stage. It's going to come down to the defense and somebody that I haven't talked about in Jake Elliott. Jake Elliott. Come on. Let's be real. Folks saying that Jalen Hurts is the weakest link on this team simply haven't watched Eagles football. Now, I'm not going to disrespect you and say that you shouldn't talk football or say that you're dumb or insult you. I'm going to just charge it to you don't know Eagles football. But Anybody that has watched Eagles football from start to finish this season, they know Jake Elliott is the weakest link. Let's be honest. Jake Elliott cannot do what he has done in the past against Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid. Best believe if you are leaving points off the board, Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid will make you pay. I'm sorry, Jake Elliott, but you cannot miss a 54-yard field goal against Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid. You can't. Because either what they will do is score a field goal or a touchdown. So essentially, you're leaving points off the board and giving the Chiefs a short field. And then what happens? They go ahead and put points on the board. That's what it is. So any real Birds fan has no concerns with the offense. They have concerns with what this defense will do, but more importantly, what this special teams will do with Jake Elliott. Now, Jake, you have been clutch, ever since that you've been like Jake Elliott has been clutch ever since he's been a Philadelphia Eagle, and you cannot take that away from him. We saw how clutch he was in 2017 with the Birds. Guess what, bruh? Now we're asking you to be clutch again. We're facing Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid. In 2017, we faced Tom Brady and Bill Belichick. And we needed you to be on your game. And yes, you were on your game. But we need every single point from that, John, just like we're going to need every single point in this, John. That's exactly what it is. Let's get these super chats. Shout out my man Matthew. Hurts will get a B plus on a random quiz, but he'll still get an A plus on the final. I love that. How y'all feel about that? That is a great analogy. Like, those friends that they might have a B plus the whole entire year. But when it comes to take that final and get that A plus, to get that B plus from the A minus, they get it done. That is Jalen Alexander Hurts. That's what it is. I would rather be the guy that on a B plus quiz, I ain't say it right. I would rather be the guy that when I need to go ahead and deliver on an exam, I go ahead and deliver. Versus on like a random pop quiz, I get 100, but the final exam, I get an F and I fold. That's the thing. That's what it is. That's what it is what hurts. It's like, all right, I would rather have a guy that on the pop quiz, maybe he gets a C. Maybe he gets a B minus or a B. But on the final exam, when you need your best effort, he goes ahead and has an A plus. That's Jalen Hurts. Jared Goff, Sam Darnold, Tua Tagovailoa, Dak Prescott, Jordan Love, they might have A pluses on that pop quiz. But on that final exam, they get an F. What happens? You get a C. And then your mom or your pop gives you an ass whooping. That's what it is. That's what it is. I've been saying this for a while. Less stats don't mean worse stats. 100% agree. 100% agree. Keep them super chats going. I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. Like, comment, subscribe. Do all that jazz. Do all that jazz. That's exactly what it is. Ultimately, bro, it's going to come down to the defense and special teams. The Chiefs can get got, and we're going to talk about how they can get got. And I'm going to just show in the playoffs how the Chiefs have defended the run. How they have defended the run. And let me share my screen. For all y'all that's coming in, like, comment, subscribe. Come on, go ahead and show some love to the channel. Best believe we are going to freaking pop off. Let me go ahead and change this real quick. Ooh, okay. I'm going right there. All right. All right. All right, look at this. Look at this, y'all. Look at this. Look. All right, I'm here. Testing that. All right, bad. Look at this. Joe Mixon in the divisional round had 18 carries, 88 yards, 5 yards a carry. CJ Stroud, 6 carries, 42 yards. Now, right there, that is 130 yards. That's 130 yards, bro. You got 88 plus 42 plus 2, that's 90, plus 40, that's 130. Keep it a bean. If that's Saquon Barkley, if that's Jalen Hurts, they're going to put up 200 rushing yards. Minimum. Cool. Let's go to the Bills game. And I am coming down with a little bit of a cold, so I apologize. I might be coughing or whatever, but just bear with me. Look at this Bills game, bruh. James Cook, 13 carries, 85 yards, 6.5 yards per attempt, 2 touchdowns. If James Cook can cook the Chiefs, no pun intended, what do you think Saquon Barkley's going to do? I just want to give belief to y'all. We know how great the Chiefs are. We know how great Patrick Mahomes is. But what we're not going to do is say that this team is unbeatable. Oh my gosh, how could the Eagles beat them? No. We have the advantage. Howie Roseman constructed a phenomenal roster for this moment. For this moment, I'm going to talk about them Georgia Bulldogs for a second. James Cook went off. If James Cook went off against the Chiefs, what do you think Saquon Barkley is going to do? He's going to have a field day. And I'm going to bring it back to my solo screen and all that stuff, bruh. Let me say this. Against the Commanders, the Eagles had Saquon Barkley carry the ball for 15 times. 15 times. I believe that's what it was. Let me just double check real quick. But I believe it was only 15 times. So essentially, they barely used SIP. It was 15 times for 118 yards, 8 yards a carry. So essentially, what the Eagles did was they barely used Saquon Barkley in the NFC Championship game, and he still went off. What that means to me is that that's less wear and tear on his body, and he's going to be more rested in the Super Bowl. You saw that man sit out for a little bit, and Kenneth Gainwell came in. You saw that man essentially sit most of that fourth quarter, and let Will Shipley eat. And Will Shipley went ahead and had a 57-yard run and then punched it in with a touchdown. Got his first touchdown of his career in the NFC Championship game. Ultimately, what do I see? I see a guy in Saquon Barkley who is well rested. He is well rested. That's what it is. And so, because he's well rested, that will favor the Eagles. Yes. 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 We know what Jalen Hurts is going to do. We know what Jalen Hurts is going to do. Let me say this too. And it's kind of like one of my last points before I go off. The media always takes the bait from Jalen Hurts. Against the Steelers in that press conference, where did he say, "Is that what y'all wanted to see?" And they was mad. They was mad. Oh, well, you should have been doing this the whole season, blah, blah, blah. Like, oh, you're cocky now. Hey, shut up, turkey. Shut up, turkey. Shut up. It wasn't required. So why are we doing it? Cool. Now we're seeing a guy in Saquon Barkley that's saying, you know what? Oh, I'm sorry, in Jalen Hurts. We're seeing a guy in Jalen Hurts that says, what? Now it's time to show y'all what I've been, just putting on the back burner and saying, hey, now it's time to show up. And I had a reel on it a little bit earlier yesterday, but I'll say it again. This man, Jalen Hurts, does not fear Patrick Mahomes. And the whole entire Eagles team does not fear Patrick Mahomes. A lot of guys on this team went to the Super Bowl in 2023, I guess 2022 season, and they went toe-to-toe Patrick Mahomes and lost to him off a James Bradbury call. Cool. What I also see is a guy in Jalen Hurts and this whole entire team. In the regular season, I saw this Eagles team come back from 10 points down and beat the Chiefs in Arrowhead. Yes, I will concede this was a whole different Chiefs team and a whole different Eagles team. But I firmly believe, well, this Eagles team is way better than last year. Way better. I mean, you can argue 2022, but it was better than that. But you can't argue 2023. And 2023 went ahead and beat this team on the road. And a lot of these guys, whether it's Smitty, A.J. Brown, Jalen Hurts, Lane Johnson, Jordan Mailata, all these guys, Cam Jurgens, Landon Dickinson, a lot of these guys on offense have beat this team and they've had their way offensively. They have. All of that plays into account when we talk about the fact that this Eagles team is not scared of the Chiefs. The Ravens are scared of the Chiefs. The Bills are scared, petrified of the Chiefs. The Bengals, as much as they don't want to admit it, they are scared and petrified of the Chiefs. The Eagles are not scared, and they have the perfect blend of veterans who have been there and young guys that are waiting to get a Super Bowl in their first year as a starter. I'm talking about Coop. I'm talking about Quinyon Mitchell. And hell, I'm talking about Jalen Carter, Nolan Smith, two guys that are there in their sophomore year. They're in their sophomore year. That's what it is. And my last point, brothers, and I appreciate y'all for hopping on and all that and just staying with me, but those Philly dogs are going to eat. Shout out my man, Mike. Karina Sanchez, manifesting this win, Bark cooking. Yes, Barkley is going to cook. I saw Nick Wright say that he's not going to have a game against the Chiefs. Okay. Keep believing that. Like, it's not going to be easy, but Barkley is going to have his way. He will have his way. My last point on this, bro, before we head off, and I'm going to, create clips on this, and I appreciate y'all for hopping on. Hey, Howie Roseman didn't make it hard. He made it pretty simple. He said, I'm going to draft the Georgia Bulldogs. N'Kobe Dean, Jalen Carter, Nolan Smith. It's not rocket science. I'm going to draft champions. I'm going to draft guys that in pressure situations, they rise to the occasion. N'Kobe Dean, in his first time being a full starter, was sensational. And when he got injured, he went out like a champion. That tackle for loss on Josh Jacobs was simply phenomenal. Was phenomenal. Jalen Carter literally saved the season against the Rams and sacked Matthew Stafford and went ahead and won the Eagles that game, and he got that MVP that game because he was on another level. Was on another level. And Nolan Smith has a franchise record 4.5 sacks in the playoffs, and he's just getting started. He's been sensational. So I see all of those guys, them Georgia, Philadelphia Bulldogs, that when it comes time to make a play and show why you have that championship heart, those Georgia, Philadelphia Bulldogs went ahead and balled out on the biggest stage. They did. So I got to tip my cap to Howie Roseman because he's a guy that's like, shoot, I'm not finna make this hard. I'm not. I'm going to go ahead and draft champions. I'm going ahead and go ahead. Like, you feel me, bruh? I'm going to just draft some champions. Yo, do we still have Bradbury? Yes, we do, but we're not worried about Bradbury. Oh, yeah, we should win the Super Bowl for Barkley and DeJean's birthday as a gift. It would be brutal to lose on their special day. It's destiny. It's destiny. I believe that. I've said that. I made a reel on that. I mean, look, it's destiny, bruh. It's destiny. Oh, all right. Here's my absolute last point before I get off. The Eagles have to treat the Chiefs like an ant or a roach. I will say it again. The Eagles got to treat the Chiefs like a roach. Like, it's sometimes you stomp on a roach and that John keep moving. And you're like, dang, it's still alive? Yeah, bro. That John's still alive, bro. And you go ahead and stomp on it again. And it's still twitching. It's still moving. And you're like, bruh, I done stomped with all my might, all my power, and that John is still moving. No. The Eagles gotta stomp on that John. They gotta scrape it. They gotta say, and go ahead and make sure that John is dead. Make sure that John is dead. Because the only way you beat the Chiefs, you beat the champions, you beat Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid is by making sure they have no life. Making sure they have no life. Because what the Eagles don't want is a one possession game and Andy Reid or Patrick Mahomes having the ball last. You don't want that. You want a double-digit game and for it, frankly, to not be close for Mahomes or Reed to go ahead and get the job done, and or for the refs to go ahead and manipulate this game. Because when I saw Caitlin Clark with Taylor Swift, I was like, oh, y'all got some trickery, some sorcery, some BS going on. Some BS going on. So again, you got to step on the Chiefs, step on it, scrape it, step on it again, scrape it, and step on it 3 freaking times. And go ahead and show them, hey, we're not playing and we're not going to stop till we see y'all flat out splat on the floor. That's how the Eagles, that is how the Eagles should treat the Chiefs. The Bills did not get it. It was a close game, and ultimately Josh Allen folded. A lot of these teams are letting the Chiefs off the hook because they continue to give them the ball last with a 1 possession game. This offense is going to put up 30 plus points. It's up to this defense. It is up to Jake Elliott to make every point matter. Whether that is field goals, whether that is extra points, and hell, whether that is stopping that boss man. Because you know they are going to put up points. But in order to beat them, you need that turnover. What did Brandon Graham do? What did Brandon Graham do? It was a shootout. And the defining moment in that game was that strip sack on Tom Brady. That is why the Eagles won. Because the Patriots were having their way. Just like the Eagles. Going up and down the field, up and down like it was nothing. So it's going to take Jalen Carter or Nolan Smith or Milton Williams or Quinyon Mitchell or Cooper DeJean or CJ Garner-Johnson to make a play in those crucial moments to where you flat out, you step on that ant and you scrape it and you spit on that joint and you say, yo, it's not your day. It's not your day. You feel what I'm saying, bro? You can't let these guys get any life. Any life. I'm telling you. And what did the Avengers do? What did the Avengers do? It took them 2 times to beat Thanos. It took the Avengers 2 times to beat Thanos. Well, guess what? It's our second time. It's our second time. Well, against the Patriots, our second time, we won that jump. And so it's history repeating itself. It's history repeating itself. And the Eagles will get it done. All we need is one big play from the defense because I believe this offense is going to flat out ball out. Because Jalen Hurts is going to have a masterclass. Saquon Barkley on his birthday is going to show up. A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith have been there before, and they know what it's hitting for. And they will flat out show up on the big stage. And Dallas Goedert is going to show y'all when he's healthy, he's a top 4, top 5 tight end. He is a top 4, top 5 tight end. Just saying, bruh. I am just saying. Y'all see me sniffling. I was on Broad Street. It was cold, and I got myself sick. So I'm going to get this NyQuil. I'm going to go to sleep. But I got one more thing to say. Between Jalen Hurts and Patrick Mahomes, Jalen Hurts has the most to gain. Oh, well, Patrick Mahomes is going for a 3-peat, bruh. Let's be honest, bro. Patrick Mahomes is 29 years old. He is 29 years old. He still has time to cement himself as the greatest quarterback of all time. I mean, Tom Brady went 9 freaking years without winning a Super Bowl. So it is on the table for Patrick Mahomes, even if he loses this Super Bowl, to still be the greatest quarterback of all time. But with Jalen Hurts, if and when he wins this Super Bowl, he will be immortalized in Philly. He will cement himself as the best quarterback in Eagles history. And it won't be close. And the man will only be 26 years old with a whole lot of game left. And he will cement himself in the NFL, contrary to the haters and to the doubters, as an elite quarterback. And me personally, I'd put Hurts top 2. Top 2. At worst, top 4. And at extremely worst, top 5. Because I see all these guys in the AFC, they're scared of Mahomes. And they can't beat that final boss outside of Joe Burrow. That's what it is. That's exactly what it is. You feel me? I'm preaching today. I'm preaching today. I'm preaching today. That's what's on the line for Jalen Hurts. And I know when the pressure is mounted. And that's why I got so mad at folks saying, well, Hurts is the weakest link. Well, if Jalen Hurts is the weakest link, the Eagles are winning the Bowl. They are. But who's the weakest link? It's Jake Elliott. That's what it is. That's what it is. And so I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. And this Eagles team in 2024 is better than the Eagles team in 2022. And my final thing before I head off, I've been saying it's my final thing like 5, 6 times. But I love y'all so much that I just keep having more things to say. All of y'all right now that's watching, you get the inside scoop before anybody else when I'm about to say this right now. My dad got me tickets to the Super Bowl. Shout out Pops, man. Shout out Pops. My dad got me tickets to the Super Bowl. Shout out my Pops, man. Hey, shout out Pops. Hey, all of y'all that's watching right now, y'all don't know before everybody else. They don't know. A lot of my friends don't know yet. People on TikTok, people on Instagram, wherever, a lot of them don't know yet. Now, look, I live in New York, right? I'm from Philly. I live in New York. Tell me why, like, this was like the Friday before the NFC Championship. My dad called me. He was like, hey, how much are Super Bowl tickets? I was like, why are you asking? Like, it was out the blue. I'm like, why are you asking? He was like, I'm looking at hotels right now. I'm like, what you trying to say? What you trying to say? And so he was like, hey, if the Eagles win, we're going to New Orleans. Now, mind y'all know, some of y'all know this already, but my dad's a Cowboys fan. Now, at this point, he got to be either, it's two things. And it might be both. He's either the best dad of all time or he's a closet Eagles fan. So it's either he's both. It's either he is a closet Eagles fan and the best dad of all time, or he's a closet Eagles fan and just wants to see the Eagles win, or he's the best dad of all time and is still a Cowboys fan. It's one or the other. It's one or the other. And I ain't mad at it. I have never seen a Super Bowl. I never dreamed of one. I didn't think it was possible for me to go to one yet. Well, I did think it was possible, but like not this year. I was like, hey, I don't know about this year. Um, but I'm happy. I'm very, very happy. Um, and I'm already putting the things in place to have some fantastic content for y'all. Um, and I mean, y'all watching the live right now, y'all getting a sneak peek. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. No, I love that profile. Thanks, Ben. I appreciate you, man. And that's a mic drop for sure. You feel me? Yeah, I was thinking that too, man. I was like, bruh, what? Like, you feel me? Like, shout out you, Doc. Shout out you, Doc. Bruh, I'm still Nick, like I'm still sick from that John. Like it's crazy. It was worth it, but like it's still crazy. Thank you. Hey, shout out Pops. It make me really think like on some real stuff though, on some real stuff, it made me think to myself like I really gotta up my game professionally and all that. Cause the next 10 years I gotta retire Pops. I got to. I got to. Cause Super Bowl is not cheap. It's not cheap. I'm 23, but I turned 24 in April. Look, that joint's not cheap. But it's just giving me more motivation. Like, look, next 5, 6 years, I gotta retire Pops. That's the goal I got in mind. Cause I'm like, bruh, you be looking out. I mean, my parents put me in position where it's like, you gotta be a crash out. Like, you gotta be a real crash out to not be successful. And I will really say, like, out of all they children, me, my little sister, and my youngest sister, out of all of us, we all been doing our thing. And it's like the youngest one, like my younger sister, amazing. She's over me. And then my youngest sister, she's over both of us. I mean, she's amazing. I as a big brother, I'm a big brother, two little sisters. I'm like, I want y'all to be better than me. Cause when y'all better than me, that's a reflection of your big brother. Like, hey, the more y'all do great, hey, you feel me? I think part of it, I was a little bit of a crash out. I was a little bit of a crash out. High school. So it's like they kind of learned from me in that aspect. But my man, yo, man, you thorough, you dumb thorough, yo. Yeah, keep them super chats coming so I can retire Pops. Real rap, yo. Keep them jaws coming, yo. My man, you gonna be a Nola? Who gonna be a Nola, man? Who gonna be a Nola? That's what I'm saying. Like, it's something that you can like tell your kids, like when you get older. Like, I've been to the Super Bowl, bro. When I tell you, like, all right, I did see the Eagles in 2017 win the bowl, and I was so happy. And in 27, or it was like 20, it was 2018 in February. But I was like, I was in West Philly. I was a junior in high school, and like I was I was out that John like screaming, all that stuff. Like when I tell you when the Eagles won the Super Bowl, bro, I ran outside and I started playing Meek Mill Dreams and Nightmares. That's what I did. I played some Dreams and Nightmares. And literally, like, I was like, hold up, wait a minute. Y'all thought I was finished. When I bought that Aston Martin, y'all thought it was rented. I mean, like, classic, classic. I was bumping that John. And then, if y'all remember, we got a day off from school for the parade. Now I'm not in school no more, but best believe I'm finna take a day off work when we win the Super Bowl. And I saw some of y'all at the I guess the NFC Championship parade. That John was jumping on Sunday, but I'm already knowing the parade is going to be on another level. It's going to be on another level. I mean, we're going to have the interviews, all of that stuff. Like, I want to meet all of y'all. And I want all of y'all right here to be on that, John. I really do. I really do. That's what I'm saying. Like, it was my John. Like, it was my John. Like I want to feel that feeling again. I want to feel that feeling again. And like, this is my last thing because I am. Y'all see me sniffling. Like, I am sick. Like, I am sick. I work at Fox. I work at Fox Sports, and so I be getting up at like 6:37 to go to work. Or like 6:30. If you tune in, the show that I work on, I do social media for Breakfast Ball. It's called Breakfast Ball on Fox Sports. And so I make all the social media content for them. And so some of that stuff it be for the Eagles, some of that stuff it be against the Eagles. Some of it is just like general sports content, but go ahead and follow that, John. Like, um, I make all the social media, anything on social media, like that's for me. If I don't post it, that don't mean that I did not do it. What was I about to say, but ultimately, like, it's gonna be such a great John, bro. Win that bull. It's gonna be such a great John, like, and here's what I'm about to say. What I was gonna say is when I was at the parade, bro. When I was at the parade, the parade. When I was at like the celebration when we won the NFC Championship, and we was outside the link, and we was at where was we at? We was at Xfinity Live. Xfinity Live was jumping. Oh my gosh. Xfinity Live was off the chain. Let me actually show y'all this, John, because I I I I was literally here when I saw this, and I'm just like, bruh, they be hating on Philly fans. They be hating on Philly fans, but it's like we're really some of the best fans in the world. We really are. All right, but I'm about to share my job. I'm about to share my job real quick. All right, look at this real quick. Look at this John real quick. Hold up. Bro, y'all see this, bro? Bro, y'all see this, John, bro? I don't know about y'all, but that feeling I had when Saquon Barkley, off the first play of the game after that long ass Commanders drive, scored a touchdown. It was better than any drug, any sex, anything. It was better than any of that. I'm dead serious. That feeling was insane. I was like, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. It's destiny. Like when we talk about Saquon Barkley's birthday, February 9th, Cooper DeJean's birthday, February 9th, it's like, oh, it's destiny, bro. It's destiny, bro. And so I tie it back in the midst of everything that's going on politically, all this stuff, and y'all know where I stand. I'm even going to get into it. Y'all know where I stand. I'm a black man in America. Where do you think I stand? And it hasn't been too good for me right now. The Eagles give me joy. Y'all give me joy. I love doing this stuff. I love creating sports content. Honestly, it's something that I've loved to do since I was in high school. Like I was in high school as a senior, and my first page was called MJ Talk Sports. I would be in my car talking about sports. No camera, no mic, just talking about sports. It's what I love to do. I got to Morehouse College, started writing for the paper. I love sports. You can check Miles Johnson TV, my personal page. You can see all the work I did there at Morehouse, all that stuff. But I generally love sports journalism, and I generally do. That's why I went to NYU to get a master's there. But in the midst of all the division in the country, you know, I mean, no matter where you are, no matter if you're right, if you're left, it was like Philly was one. It was one. White, black, blue, purple, yellow, everybody was one because of the Eagles. Look at the vlog, bro. I was with my friends from elementary school, middle school, high school. We were having a ball. Folks coming up to us, folks coming up to me on some like, I watch you on Instagram, on TikTok, and all that stuff. It's like, bro, like, I love that, bro. Like, please. I ain't gonna be one of the people that's like, like I'm too big, bro. I'm not, bro. I'm a regular person, bro. I'm not nothing crazy, bro. I'm not nothing crazy, bro. Like, you feel me? So it's like, out of all the turmoil, out of all the BS that's happening, it's like the Eagles winning is coming at the perfect time, bro. And if you feel that way, put a W in the chat because that's how I feel, man. That's how I feel, man. Bro, I live in North Jersey, and when I heard that the guys in Philly got the school day off, I was so jealous. Yeah, bro, it's something about like I don't know. It was something about like just getting that day off from school. It was crazy because like we didn't think they would give us a day off from school, and they actually did. It was like it was only one day, but it was like, oh my gosh, we're lit, and everybody was lit out there. Everybody was lit out there, and I was 17 years old. I was 17 years old, and so it's our year. I feel the W in my heart. I feel what you're saying, and man, oh man, we'll be live again. What it's Tuesday? All right, boom. Uh, Wednesday night. So tomorrow night, actually, we will be live again, and we'll talk about different stats, different matchups, and also go into depth of this whole entire season. We talked about Hurts, Saquon, Mahomes. We're gonna go. We are going to go more in depth. We have a whole week to talk about this stuff. A whole freaking week. I love y'all. I appreciate it. Real talk with MJ. Like, comment, subscribe. Share with a friend and share with a friend. Please do that before we head off. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. We're out.